Hey y'all, how are y'all doing? Yeah, you saw the title of the video, and I'm going to encourage you all to please try and not let what you see in the news bother you. But before we get into that, the title of this video, because I won't go too much into it, let me say that I have a live scheduled entitled Bait Nation on Valentine's, and trust me when I say I know a lot of y'all who celebrate that will probably be out with your significant others, but I'm still gonna put a message out that day. So I encourage you to do the whole replay game. Got like 6 shout outs to give here right quick. If I miss some of y'all, my bad. You know who you are. I shout you out sometimes. My first one's going to be the Solomon Project. Remember, what he's giving you is not financial advice. If you want information on being a trucker, that's an over-the-road trucker versus local trucking. If you would like to discuss stocks but not get financial advice, and you want to learn how to live as a legal immigrant and understand legal immigration and stuff in the United States, Solomon is your guy. So I encourage you to check his channel out. If you're trying to change your eating habits, look at my boy Vegan Kings. You could have your favorite recipes any kind of way, without losing that meat texture that some people miss when they no longer eat meat. I'm happy that Vegan is also diversifying outside of his Haitian culture and trying other recipes, because that versatility will go a long way. I also see that his channel is continuing to grow, so congrats on Vegan. Next, Hook It Up Homestead. This one should be obvious based on the photos and things. Gotta start getting an intimacy with food and learning how to grow your own stuff again. Because growing your own stuff is the only way to ensure that you're getting good food. How you grow it, you'll form a relationship with it. And I know that sounds weird, but there was a time when we all ate in season and rarely had to depend on things from outside of the country. And as we've gotten that dependence on those things, we've become spoiled. It's time for us to start eating in season. I'll practice what I preach come April when we go back to the farmers markets. Be ready for those videos because they are coming. And Hook It Up Homestead is just an extension of me going to visit those markets and buy fresh and delicious foods that are in season. Also gonna get myself a half a cow again because I see her living healthy. I'm happy that my husband wants to set up these those vertical white things. I forgot what it's called, that you can put fruits and vegetables in, and you don't have to even worry about putting them directly in the ground. You can even grow it in your house, which I think is phenomenal. So I'll be looking at a whole lot of Hook It Up Homesteads videos in the near future. Next is the Curtis York. You all don't hardly see him, and I think that's a good thing. Curtis is the art of taking the hiatus and knowing how to balance a young family and growing with their family while trying to grow a brand. Curtis has a lot going on, and I know it may be a little daunting now, but he'll look back one day and see that the wisdom that he gives for his age, I didn't say get, I meant to say give, is phenomenal. And that he has a lot to give to people and a lot to offer. And I can't wait and look forward to him seeing the meaning of those offerings. Last and certainly not least is Nikki P. Her subs are also growing. This is Empress Nikki. I told y'all to recognize. Go on, give her some shout outs. Nikki is what I call the Jill of all trades. She loves gaming. She loves black culture. I think she just recently went somewhere in the South. Y'all will go watch her videos to find that out. I'm not going to tell y'all everything, okay? Those are my personal YouTube shout outs. I have one more. Y'all have seen all of my pictures and my my different AI photos I've had done for myself. I do them for fun. So I get them from this guy on Etsy, Pixel Mind Creations. I think Giacomo is from Ireland, if I said his name right. I may be mistaken. If you get his digital photo, he'll send you a free one also that is printed based on the address you put in Etsy. Now remember, when you go into Etsy, you have to get an account, okay? The account to Etsy itself is free to give yourself a password and things. You only pay when you patronize certain stores, okay? So I promised Pexel Minds I'd put them out, so I know y'all see some resemblances already in some of the openings I used. Now back to our regularly scheduled program. Let me ask you a question. Why are you all panicking? The reason I ask this question is because it's going to vary from person to person. Some people will say food prices, some will say job security, some will say geopolitics, something I don't care to discuss. And when I do that live on the 14th, though that'll sort of come up, I too much don't care to. That's the only way to protect my peace, is to remove myself from a lot of this political stuff right now. And I hope that you all understand that, especially given that my headaches have come back again this weekend, starting to subside again. Why are you all panicking when you have someone like me discussing with you to build community? And in the video that I'm going to go live called Bait Nation, I'll get into detail about you all learning to control your controllables. Be careful about getting worked up about things you cannot control and work on what you can. See, the reason I gave so many shout outs, particularly 5 of them being people that are domiciled here in the United States of America, is because it's time for us to put race aside and put our differences aside and start networking and helping each other. And you'll say, well, Tara, what is an example of that? For example, February 20th will make a month ago that I started curing my soap. So I'm going to make a video with me testing it. Somewhere around the 20th or a little after that, it'll come before March. And that's when I'll have my soap side chat. The point is that some of you already want to contribute. I'm not ready to sell it yet. I just need you to test it first. The sellable stuff I'll start making soon. I'm already still getting in supplies. I'm still registering the business, all that. We're going full force. See, my controllable is knowing to start several streams of income, because the United States is just going to keep getting expensive. But we're not going to talk about controllables right now. We're going to talk about community. See, those shout outs come from a place of it's time to unify when we can. It's time to take knowledge from people here who are from around the country that can help. And why did I bring up the soap? Because my soap will be on its way by the end of this month. A few bars to Connecticut and a few bars to Mississippi. Some here I'm giving away locally and some to Alabama to my dad. It's about grassroots spreading the horizons and starting with all of you of whom I've built a community with. Because I feel like me giving shout outs, I feel like I'm invited into you all's home and you're invited into my home. The only way we're going to currently fight what is going on is help to build each other's brand. There is no other way. What we're learning is what I've known for years, is that the traditional 9-to-5 job, it's not going to cut it anymore. And it's time to go beyond getting knowledge and just putting actions. This is why people are panicking, because you pushed one button and you put all your eggs in one basket and you did not step outside of that basket and consider that what's going to happen when that basket breaks. This is what's happening with a lot of people right now. When COVID-19 happened, I saw the writing on the wall. And I'll give you a weird example. You know that bulk Lysol you can buy in the little bottles? And there was a time when you could go to like any drugstore or grocery store and get those 2 for $5 because people weren't buying them. They were economical. I kept them in my house all the time and I stocked them up. COVID happened and they run out of that. And from 2020 to early 2022, those things were pretty hard to find and they had to limit them. And me being a clean freak, it was hard for me to see that COVID-19 limited things for me. Which is why I was saddened to see that a place in Paulsbo that I once bought cleaning products from, I cannot find them anymore. And would hope that they'll go back to the farmer's market. Your solution right now, folks, is community. This is why I asked the Solomon Project about stocks and bonds, which we're going to have a real chat about that soon, given the crap going on. This is why I asked Vegan Kings about his spices, because it's just not enough to listen to his channel. I need to pour into it. This is why I wonder about Hook It Up Homestead and how she grows peppers, because making my own homemade hot sauce, then learning how to make that a business one day could probably be another side hustle to me. This is why I listen to Curtis York, because sometimes work cannot be your entire life. It cannot be your whole life. And this is why I watch Nikki P. Because she cooks and she visits museums and she visits cultural things. She epitomizes going into different avenues and not sticking yourself. This ideal that, like your ancestors and stuff, like you all, can just work one place and that one place is going to pay your bills and you're going to get a retirement. You can't count on that anymore. And that's before the current stuff that started happening. We know what that is. We don't need to say it loud. Be careful about pushing panic. You must understand that before there was modernization, your ancestors had to barter and trade like jams and jellies and homemade candies and other goods with their neighbors because things were sparse. Cars were not invented yet. Even a horse and buggy could be very expensive, and you had to wonder if that would ever break down, because those are much more fragile to a degree than cars. We are resilient, all of us here, regardless of our background and race. This is why I stay on DeAndre about taking that coffee and making it much more than just something he talks about, and start making drinks. The time to build something is now, and this is coming from me who's working hand and foot to get a soap business up. And I recognize that to do that, I would have to give something away for free, and I am fine with that. Community is your solution. I've told you all this a couple weeks ago in a video. In order to fight what's happening right now, to fight your panic, you have to fight your panic with community. With reciprocity, and with a reciprocal community where we're learning from each other and pouring our money into each other. We're all we have. And I hope in telling you that we are all that we have, that this message is resonating with you all. The live is coming in 10 days. You can watch it or you cannot. But before that live and leading up to it, it's time to start building community, and gotta do it now.